Hello, welcome back. We are in day 49 of our read through of the 1800s Pictorial Bible. Read along with me. Grab whatever Bible you have, whatever translation you have is fine. I'd love it if you were watching along the words as I'm reading. I will be reading very old King James English, so apologies as usual for whatever I mispronounce or stumble on. But we are almost done with Genesis, so let's keep going. We're almost to the finish line. Genesis chapter 49. Read along. And Jacob called unto his sons and said, Gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which befall you in the last days. Gather yourselves together, and hear, ye sons of Jacob, and hearken unto Israel your father. Reuben, thou art my firstborn, my might, and the beginning of my strength, the excellency of dignity, and the excellency of power. Unstable as water, thou shalt not excel, because thou wentest up to my father's bed. Then defiledest thou it. He went up to my couch. Simeon and Levi are brethren, instruments of cruelty are in their habitations. O my soul, come not thou into their secret, unto their assembly, mine honor, be not thou united. For in their anger they slew a man, and in their self-will they digged down a wall. Cursed be their anger, for it was fierce, and their wrath it was cruel. I will divide them in Jacob, and scatter them in Israel. Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee. Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down, he couched as a lion, and as an old lion. Who shall rouse him up? The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh come, and unto him shall the gathering of his people be. Binding his foal unto the vine, and his ass's colt unto the choice vine, he washed his garments in wine, and his clothes in the blood of grapes. His eyes shall be red with wine, and his teeth white with milk. Zebulun shall dwell at the haven of the sea, and he shall be for an haven of ships, and his border shall be unto Zidon. Issachar is a strong ass, couching down between two burdens. It does say couching, not crouching. And he saw that rest was good, and the land that it was pleasant, and bowed his shoulder to bear, and became a servant unto tribute. Dan shall judge his people as one of the tribes of Israel. Dan shall be a serpent in the way, an adder in the path, that biteth the horse heels, so that his rider shall fall backward. I have waited for thy salvation, O Lord. Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last. Out of Asher his bread shall be fat, and he shall yield royal dainties. Naphtali is a hind let loose. He giveth goodly words. Joseph is a fruitful bow, even a fruitful bow by a well, whose branches run over the wall. The archers have sorely grieved him, and shot at him, and hated him. But his bow abode in strength, and the arms of his hands were made strong by the hands of the mighty God of Jacob. From thence is the shepherd, the stone of Israel. Even by the God of thy father, who shall help thee, and by the Almighty, who shall bless thee with blessings of heaven above, blessings of the deep that lieth under, blessings of the breasts and of the womb. The blessings of thy father have prevailed above the blessings of the progenitors, unto the utmost bound of the everlasting hills. They shall be on the head of Joseph, and on the crown of the head of him that was separate from his brethren. Benjamin shall raven as a wolf. In the morning he shall devour the prey, and at night he shall divide the spoil. All these are the 12 tribes of Israel, and this is it that their father spake unto them, and blessed them. Every one according to his blessing he blessed them. And he charged them, and said unto them, I am to be gathered unto my people. Bury me with my fathers in the cave that is in the field of Ephron the Hittite, in the cave that is in the field of Machpelah, which is before Mamre, in the land of Canaan, which Abraham bought with the field of Ephron the Hittite for a possession of a burying place. There was buried Abraham and Sarah his wife, and there they laid Isaac and Rebekah his wife, and there I buried Leah. The purchase of the field and of the cave that is therein was from the children of Heth. And when Jacob had made an end of commanding his sons, he gathered up his feet into his bed, and yielding up the ghost, was gathered unto his people. So, we have Jacob giving his sons blessings on his deathbed here. And this is a really interesting passage. I have been saying in these past chapters over and over again that things are not going to go how they would typically have gone in ancient times by tradition. Traditionally, the oldest son gets the biggest blessing, gets the biggest responsibility, gets the biggest portion, all of that jazz. And as I read, he was very unhappy with his oldest. He said, "You are great." He said, "You're strong. You're my firstborn, my might, the beginning of strength, excellency, and dignity. But you're unstable as water. And you went up and you got into my bed. You slept with one of my concubines." Which, again, there's layers of sin there. He shouldn't have more than one wife, but Reuben definitely shouldn't have had sex with one of his brother's moms. Like, that's gross. So he wrote himself out of the will there, buddy. And then the next two sons, Simeon and Levi, if we remember from earlier readings, they're the ones who went crazy when Dinah got raped and they murdered a bunch of people. And again, I get it. Like, we love stories where people take vengeance, but it was not the move, especially if you're looking to lead this future people. He doesn't want that to start on bloodshed. And then it comes to Judah. And I keep saying, Judah's going to be the one. He's going to be the one, Jesus is called the Lion of Judah. And what I love about that is we see Judah in this blessing from his father being called a lion. I love that the lion imagery starts this early. It's so beautiful. And he is the one who is chosen for that position. But then as we keep going down and then we get to Joseph is really the one who earned the most. He's far from the firstborn. He's the 11th son. But he obviously brought the most deliverance and is in the Lord's favor the most. So he gets a huge blessing. And then Jacob's like, "Listen, bury me with my fathers." I think it's really interesting. The patriarchs are all buried together, but, he says he buried Leah in this cave, but he didn't bury Rachel there, and Rachel's the one that he loved more. He buried her at Bethlehem. And then we know Bethlehem is a very important place later in the story, because that's where Jesus is born. So just very interesting things. Very interesting, again, that pattern again of the firstborn being passed up. We saw it in the last chapter with him blessing Joseph's sons and choosing to bless the younger more than the older. Generational patterns, continuing and continuing. Tomorrow, it'll be the last chapter of Genesis, and then we have completed an entire book of the Bible together on TikTok. Look at us. Look at us. Still going strong with our New Year's resolutions. Give yourself a hand. Or give me a hand. Or don't. But have a great day and be in your word. And hopefully I will see you back here tomorrow. God bless.